Don't let my father's deed be in vain. Iwuanyawu's son tell federal government. Jidechukwu, the first son of the late former President-General of Ohanaeze Ndigbo, Emmanuel, has disclosed that his father developed heart complications after visiting Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, at the Department of State Service DSS facility in Abuja. According to Jidechukwu, his father was subjected to a 20-minute walk during his visit to Kanu, after which he started experiencing health issues. He stated that the former Ohanaeze leader developed a heart illness following the visit and was subsequently rushed to the hospital, where he later passed away. Welcome to Naija Anchor News. Today we are looking into the call by Jidechukwu, who has called on the federal government and spoken about the circumstances surrounding his father's death and his final wishes. Emmanuel died on July 25, 2024 at the age of 82. His son, Jidechukwu, has now called on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to release Nnamdi Kanu, stating that it was his father's last wish. While in the hospital, the late Ohanaeze's leader reportedly continued to advocate for Kanu's release and the establishment of the Southeast Development Commission. In a statement, Jidechukwu details his father's experience. Undeterred, my father sojourned on to see Kanu and had a father-son moment with him. On returning home, my father complained of his heart and retired to his room to rest. The next morning, he broke down and was rushed to the hospital. He was at the hospital until his death. While at the hospital, he was still fighting for Kanu's release and the realization of the Southeast Development Commission for the betterment of Ala Igbo. I'm sure if he were alive, he would have been happy to see one of his wishes come true. Jidechukwu described his father as a man of peace who loved his people, the Ndigbo, and the Nigeria as a whole. He also emphasized that Kanu's release will bring peace and end the Monday sit-at-home protests in the Southeast. Meanwhile, Nnamdi Kanu's legal counsel, Aloy Ejimako, has rejected the notion that his client's release should be on pleas or clemency. In a strong worded statement titled "Upholding the Rule of Law is more important to me than anything else," Ejimako maintains that Kanu has committed no crime and should be released based on existing court rulings that have declared his detention unlawful. Ejimako stated, "The matter of releasing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not an act of mercy, pardon, executive clemency, or even amnesty. Instead, it should be on an act of simply complying with the subsisting Federal High Court judgment that declared his detention unconstitutional, or even the extant international tribunal decisions that separately declared his detention unlawful." He further emphasized that calls for pardon or clemency could be misinterpreted as an admission of guilt, which could embolden the government to continue prosecuting Kanus under questionable legal grounds. Instead of pleading, Kanu has urged his supporters to follow the approach of organizations like Ohanaeze, Afenifere, and the World Igbo Congress, which have asserted that he has committed no offense. Last week, Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives Benjamin Kalu also joined calls for Kanu's release, urging President Tinubu to facilitate the freedom as a means of restoring peace in the Southeast. As the IPOB leader appears before Justice Binta Nyako of the Federal High Court, Abuja today, 10th January 2025, his legal team continued to argue for the transfer of his case to the Southeast, citing concerns about impartiality in Abuja. Do you think the federal government should grant Jidechukwu's request and release Nnamdi Kanu to honor his father's last wish? Why or why not? With calls from leaders like Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu for Kanu's release, do you believe freeing him will truly bring peace and end Monday sit-at-home protests in the Southeast? Let us know your thoughts. Stay tuned to Naija Anchor News for more updates.